Hello everybody. Right now I'm going to send a message to Agit Pai, who I do not believe will watch this video ever, but I still think it's worth making in the event he ever finds anyone who will respond to him on YouTube. Agit, I don't believe you're going to see this personally, as I've just told the people before who might view this. I'm here to discuss net neutrality and your decision's impact on it, and to say that we disagree with it. All of us who like the internet, Republicans, Democrats, black, white, red, insert color here, we don't appreciate what you're doing. I do not expect you to hear us or even care. But what you're doing does go against the American people. And you're continuing to go against the American people, even though we keep on saying no. You're trying to get rid of Article 2 net neutrality, which protects people's right to pay the same amount no matter what they're using their internet on. And I don't believe that that's the best move for anyone to make. Here's a number of reasons why people deserve free internet. The First Amendment right protects the freedom of speech and expression. It's technically unconstitutional that you would mess with that. And I'm expecting you to argue that by making people pay for it, you're not actually inhibiting the way to express oneself. That may work for the movie industry and other things, but the internet is meant to be open access. You're only paying the amount you need to pay legally for the legal content on the internet. That includes violence, like violent video games, not, the other kind. That includes TV shows. That includes porn. That even includes child-friendly content. That also includes educational content. All those things. And I'm going to address the fact that yes, I've said porn and then child-friendly content. They're two separate categories. Agit, I don't expect you to know that. But everyone else would. The point is, people use it for entertainment purposes. But here's another list of reasons. Education and business practices. Children now do most of their homework online. Businesses advertise online. And since we have free and open access, or not really free, but open access, that is. Okay, let's change that. I'm going to say relatively free. You pay the cable, or the ISP, the Internet Service Provider. Sometimes those ISPs are cable providers. But if we had municipal internet, that would be much better in my opinion. That would be a grand improvement. But companies tend to throw a fit over that. I don't blame them. It cuts into their revenue. It's a pity that they can't grow past this and realize that their revenue could increase through this if they only supported it. It would make it easier for children to do their homework digitally. In other words, not having to use up the paper. Well, paper comes from trees. Internet, by definition, now saves trees. Well, Agit, I don't think you're caring about really what you're affecting. You're only caring about the money. And you're only caring about how much money you're going to get when you go back to your former employers. And many American people are saying against you. I don't know how many are protesting because I haven't seen. There's been a lack of coverage on TV for whatever reason. But I do not appreciate what you've been doing. Please stop. I don't expect you to stop, but I would ask that you do just that. Now, there are other ways you can make money. The FCC can enforce things in a different way. But I don't believe you have America's best interests at heart at all. You want to turn it into just a big corporate cash grab, and then they can raise up the prices and then throttle internet. So like, let's say I choose a site that you disagree with, you could throttle it down. Well, I'm going to choose sites you disagree with all the time. And you know what I might resort to if you do this? I will use Tor. Once I find how to get on there, I'll use the darknet and I'll start posting my videos there. That's what I might do if it comes to it. So if you do get rid of net neutrality, I'll start using the darknet to protect my freedom of expression. And people are more free there than they are here anyway, on this normal web anyway. So a darknet YouTube should exist at some point. A person with a private server that uses Linux instead of Windows. That could be interesting. And the darknet's starting to look kind of seductive now, thanks to you. I want you to understand the cost of your choice. I want an internet that's relatively free. Relative speaking. And if that means I have to use an illegal router to retain this freedom, then I might have to. I'm expecting to get arrested and stuff for this, but at the same time, I'd rather be free. Digitally free. I don't understand why you want to take that from us. See, technically it's not illegal to look at the darknet. So what if I posted stuff that wasn't technically illegal? Then that would mean I'm adding more good content to the darknet. And by good content, I don't mean the freaky stuff most people find that, some people make videos of. I'm talking about, what you're seeing here. Add this kind of stuff. This kind of video. That's more of a commentary. And a statement of disapproval about your actions. I'm talking about what you're seeing here being on the darknet. Unfortunately, you don't seem to care about the consequences of your actions and what people may choose. You don't know what they will choose. There's no way you can predict the future. But people like their freedom. Agit, have you always lived in America? How much of American history do you know? Not much, right? You know what happens when people try to oppress other people or try to control who gets what? They resist. They rebel. They take what they want, or they hide it under the desk. I can give you an example. America in the 1920s had a law set in place called prohibition to prohibit alcohol or the distribution of alcohol. The law failed miserably. It was the kind of law that resulted in the very people who made the law were drinking behind closed doors and sometimes even behind a wall. In special rooms, there was people using secret tunnels. As ludicrous as that might sound, that did happen. They would use secret tunnels to drink various alcoholic beverages because they didn't want the cops cracking down on them, rather. The point is, I know you're thinking this is not an internet prohibition because we can buy it and it's not illegal to buy it. That's one way of looking at it, because you can buy it. But how much are you charging per month? People have to pay their bills. People have to prioritize food, medicine even. And people would like internet too. But they also have to pay their utilities, which in many ways leaves a lot of people without internet in this case. It's not that they don't want internet, it's that they can't afford it at this point. And you're going to say that they just simply don't want it. No, that's misrepresentation. They actually do want it. They do wish they could pay, but they simply don't have it. There's a difference between not wanting something and just not being able to get it. For example, I want to live in a better house and I want a better job if only it were available. You might be able to make it available as an option, but you can't make them financially available, where they can afford it. And if you're not going to do that, then what good are you? Now, the reason I'm comparing it to a prohibition, Agit Pai, your name's funny. The reason I'm comparing it to a prohibition is because people who are poor, and I mean poorer than our family, which gets like $11.50 an hour, which is not that good really. But then again, you'd have to live in America long enough to know that. Is because they can't afford it. I have a feeling I've said this more than once. But it may as well be a prohibition if they cannot afford it. And you might think, well, if they can't afford it, then how do they afford a laptop or a computer? They saved up. But you can't just save up for internet every month. You have to pay it on a monthly basis. If I'm going to save up for a computer, I have to save up for multiple months at a time. For a $200 laptop, I'd have to probably save up for 3 months. Just, and that's assuming it's roughly 200, not 300. I might have to save up for like 3 months for a $200 laptop, assuming I'm putting down $60 every 2 weeks on a gift card. That's a lot of money. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, that's how I got my PlayStation 4. The point is, that's a lot of money. It takes time. Sometimes you have to spend that money helping your family out. That rainy day money is also savings money for fun stuff. Agit, I don't think you understand this because I think you're living pretty high on the hog. I don't know if you know that phrase, but it's a phrase for people who are living well. They're financially well off. They can afford everything, in other words. Maybe you don't think you can afford everything, but you can afford more than me. I mean, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror? You look better than me. And I don't mean better than me just in the facial feature department. Facial feature department, you're not much better than me. But as far as skin tone, you clearly use expensive stuff. And as far as suits go, you're expensive. But I don't like the idea of wearing all that formal clothes. All that formality is just too much. I want you to please reconsider your choice. I'm trying to wipe out net neutrality. I want it to come back. I want it to continue. The reason I say come back is because I feel like it's already slipping. And I don't like this. I've already heard about Verizon trying to test if they can just throttle down Netflix. And then they claim that it was just a test. Well, it's true. It was a test, but not in the way they're claiming. It's not a network test to show that their networks are still functioning correctly. It was a test to see if they can get away with something. To get away with throttling down a network that they don't like. Netflix, which is like a movie sharing site. And they're going to throttle it down for some reason because it doesn't benefit them directly financially. People who don't use Netflix probably didn't experience this problem. But people who don't use Verizon could use Netflix without issue. People are already trying to take advantage of this. And so far, it's been known that one company already tried to do something. Verizon thinks they can just get away with this. That is embarrassing for them. First of all, the law is still in effect. That means that they kind of shot off a round a little too early. Premature shooting. But if they're going to do that, that's illegal. Now, Agit Pai, if you do not reconsider your decision, we will try to reverse it. If it passes, we will fight tooth and nail to reverse it. But that's why we're fighting it now, so we don't have to fight later. If we intend to have net neutrality in the future, we will fight it. And if we intend to have net neutrality ever again, if we lose it, we'll fight it even harder. I don't have a lot of money and resources, but I'm hoping people with money, like Elon Musk, for example, do fight against what you're doing. I hope people in Google fight against what you're doing, Agit. I hope everybody fights against it. Every major network, every website, every company that has a stake in this fights against your anti-net neutrality process. I am for net neutrality. I am pro net neutrality. Okay? I'm defining my position as that. I am pro net neutrality. I'm all for it. I like open access. I like the freedom to access any website I want without having to pay extra. Agit, if you cannot stand by this way of thinking, then you're not staying with the people. You're staying against the people. You have the choice to stand with the people. Make the choice that won't get us smearing you on Facebook. Please. Oh, and Agit, I want you to think about this. A lot of us don't even remember the people in charge unless they do something wrong or something we disagree with. But if they do something truly wrong that gets in everybody's way even, we remember that. For example, I don't remember who the president was during World War II, but I certainly remember Hitler. Agit, I know I couldn't remember you before, but I can remember you now. And you know why I remember you? I remember you as that guy who's trying to mess with my internet. As that guy who's trying to hinder my access and slow me down by slowing down my access. I remember you as the guy who's trying to tamper with my source of entertainment and fun by making me pay extra for the same exact content I could get earlier for free just by going to the local library. I see you as a guy who's trying to mess with that part of my life. That's how I remember you. You're the guy who's tampering with a form of entertainment I enjoy. A form of education I enjoy. You're the guy who's standing in the way of that, Agit Pai. That's you. That's how I remember you. Do you really want to be remembered in that way? Is this how you want to go down in history books, as that guy who messed with everybody's internet? I mean, it's up to you in the end, but, you know, if you want to be remembered that way by me and anyone who enjoys a net neutral system like the way we do, then keep it up. But if you want to be remembered as a guy who stepped back, thought twice about it, and decided to reinforce net neutrality on the opposite end, then you have that option too. You can reinforce net neutrality, and then we'll remember you as somebody who owned up to their mistake and decided better of it. But I don't expect you to listen. Enjoy watching my video, I hope. Please place a comment in the comment section. Anyone else catches my video first, I want you to try to forward it to Agit Pai on his Twitter or his Facebook or whatever you can find. Thank you. Please comment below. Please plus a like. Please subscribe. Thank you, all of you who have actually contributed to helping my message get to him.